Good afternoon. We're out here on claim number 007-38002-542. It's August the 14th, 88 degrees. And what we have here is a shingle that was previously paid for on a repair scope. I think some of the documentation I looked at, this is slope I. All right. So this is going to be a very unique. I don't run across this a whole lot repair, and I'm going to have to explain some things to you guys. Biggest thing about this is that this is a 5-inch exposure shingle. There's nothing on the market that is compatible with this. All standard laminates these days are 5 5/8. So that's all we have available to make the repair. Okay, just for repairability's sake, we're going to go ahead and try to get through this. And then when I go to install the shingle, I'm going to point out a few factors to you guys. So I'm going to start by breaking the seals on these shingles. That was loose too. Okay, so I try not to use my hands on these. This is a 5-inch exposure, so you don't have as much room to get the flexibility that we have in the current laminates. Just gonna go ahead and start removing these nails. Must have a rando. Yeah, a random somewhere in there. Yeah. I want to point out here, this is TAM code from the Frederick plant. I believe this thing was discontinued in 2007. You see here, I'll point out some mat transfer here. A lot of mat transfer. All right, and that's not just where it's sticking up, but you see the little patches where it pulled the asphalt, off, and you can now see the fiberglass in here. See the fiberglass matting here as well. A couple of things that you don't want to see when you're trying to make the repair. Alright, so here we go with this one. Now, I'm going to do this just for a comparison real quick, just so I can flip this up and show you. Now, it's really important when you're installing shingles. You have to get through, you have to nail into the nail line. The reason being is because this bottom laminate and the top, this base and the top laminate only come together for a short 5/8 width. And it's really important you put your nail there, because if you go high and put your nail, then this one will slide out, right? And if you put it here, then you're in the face of the shingle and it's exposed. So it's really important that you hit that spot there. And also, so in order to get that there, we need to be in our nail line, right? Well, somebody say, well, move it up. Well, if you move it up any to flush the bottom, then that means I've got to lift the shingle above it more than 45 degrees. right? And then you've over manipulated the shingle, and it's definitely going to fail repairability. So this is the conundrum when you're dealing with this shingle. We're also dealing with 2 5/8 longer. All right, so it's going to prevent it from sealing on the edge. And also, you're not supposed to cut field shingles per manufacturer specifications. Yes, you cut shingles on the rakes. Yes, you cut shingles in a valley. Yes, you cut shingles on chimneys and sidewalls. But there's a second layer there. There's a starter strip that seals the outside edge. It doesn't let it blow. It doesn't let it tear up. There's also ice and water. And in a valley, you've got another shingle that runs parallel with the valley that seals too. So there's another layer of protection. But out here in the field, there's not another layer of protection. That's why it's frowned upon, and even manufacturers state not to do that. So another thing here is that this shingle has explicit do not mix and non-compatibility letters from TAMCO, the manufacturer. Right, so just to show you kind of what this guy looks like in here, if I were to face it right, if I were to face this shingle out right, that's where it would be, and it would be lower than this one. And if you trim it off, then you're going to leave all this exposed. You're going to cut through the sealant that holds the top laminate on, right? So this is sealed on the edge, and if you do that, guess what happens? The laminate flips up, and you've got the same damage that you would in a windstorm. But that would be that would be improper installation, right? So these are the problems that you run into with the shingle. Also, already, guys, with a little bit of work that I'm doing to these shingles, you already see where they're losing granular, and you see striations across through here. I haven't even begun to nail to hammer anything yet, and that's when it's going to cause whatever's been knocked loose to vibrate out. Nails up here real quick. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish this repair, and I'm going to leave this shingle sticking out for now. What I'm also going to do, and I won't bore you guys with that on camera, but I'm going to have to come back and tarp this because I don't want the wind getting a hold of this, tearing it up and creating more damage. But I'm going to go ahead and simulate the repair and show you guys what the rest of this repairability looks like.
8 minutes.
In order to do that, I need a clean flush-driven nail, and in order to make that happen, I have to lift this out of the way where I can get my nail in that nail pattern, nail strip. Due to this roof complexity, this repair's complexity, I'm gonna have to move a little faster, so I'm gonna use my hands here just a little bit. It's really hard to explain all this in a short period of time, so hurry up, get this done, and point out the damages that have caused. There's more mat transfer. See, I'm lifting the shingle just enough to get a clean flush-driven nail. I'm not even going to chalk it up yet. I'll take some still shots for that. But you see the striations here. You see the granular striation here. I believe that thing's almost even broke. You've got delamination on that. Delamination here. That's not delaminated yet, but it's about to be striations across that. Yep. So striation all the way across here. I'm not sure how well you can see that in the camera. The striations all the way across this one. and this one. So in repairing this one that doesn't fit, it's incompatible. I've damaged 1, 2, 3, 4 shingles. All right, that's the domino effect. It's going to go all the way up this roof. Guys, please give us a little more consideration. Our reputation depends on it. Local code depends on it. This is the laws that we live by, and we humbly ask for some reconsideration on this. Thank you.